These are huge mistakes that you should avoid during the hiring process as you grow out your martial arts school. Listen to what I've got to say. Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer Waters and I am the Sales and Systems Sensei. In this video, we're going over the top 5 hiring mistakes, and let me just say, I've made all of them here inside the flagship school. So I would like for you guys to avoid making these mistakes and save time and, oh my God, so much money. So here's how you're going to do it, and here are the mistakes to avoid. When you're trying to figure out who to hire inside your martial arts school, most people do this. They look out on their mats and they go, that guy's a black belt, that girl's a black belt, and that's who they hire. And this is totally the wrong idea. I want you to think about this in the sense of a restaurant, okay? You have a poppin' Italian restaurant, you got all the good food there, and you have regular customers. And one of your regulars comes in, and this regular tells everybody about this restaurant. Tells them, oh my gosh, this is the best place ever. You're so thankful for that person who comes in your restaurant. They're regular. They always tip the waiters and waitresses really good. And you can count on them every Friday night. Matter of fact, you reserve a table for them because you know they're coming in every Friday night, and they always bring other customers. And so one day you're like, man, this person loves being here so much. They're a regular customer. I'm just going to go up to them and I'm going to offer them a job as a chef in the kitchen so they can make the food that they enjoy eating. Now think about that for a moment. You're not even qualifying whether or not this person is a good chef. You're not interviewing them to see what their personality is like. You're solely hiring them based off the frequency that they've come to the restaurant and how many people they've told about the restaurant. Most restaurant business owners are not going to hire their regulars, the people who are always there and who've been there for years, to come into their kitchen and start preparing the meals, because the meals are what make the restaurant. And that's the same thing when you go walk up to somebody who's been a regular, somebody who's been coming to your classes, become a black belt, they're really invested in it, they tell everybody about it. That's all great and good and amazing. But if you've done nothing to cultivate their leadership, if you've done nothing to teach them how to teach or what the culture behind the scenes looks like inside of your business, they're going to be one of the worst hires ever, because they have a great desire and they love your business as a customer, but they've never experienced the behind the scenes and don't even know where to turn the oven on. Let that sink in. So please, I caution you to hire just somebody because they've been there a long time, or they're enthusiastic, or they're wearing a black belt. Just don't do it. Now, the next thing that I see a lot of time is hiring somebody that you can't afford. So you go, oh my goodness, I need a manager, somebody that they've got a managing background and I'm going to have to pay for their experience. So I'm going to get a manager to come in and then they're going to manage my school for me. They're going to be an operator. So I can go and I can just own this business and I don't have to do too much. They operate it, I own it, and I'm very hands off. Now this will ruin your business. If you've not built infrastructure and systems that someone can follow from you as a leader, they follow the systems and they also have values that they can lean on when something falls outside of the framework of the system you created, and you just throw somebody in there because they've managed somewhere else before, you are just absolutely looking for disaster. It is not going to turn out the way that you wanted it to, and it's a lesson that I hope you will avoid learning at all costs. You need to grow this person up within your business, or you need to make sure, and I'll say it's an and, or probably more just an and, you need to make sure that this person knows how to operate off of your systems. And if you don't have systems, then a lot of times our clients within the 7-Figure Dojo program, they actually come in because we've already created these systems and they can just they just slide it right into their business. And so this helps them avoid recreating the wheel because they've already got the systems there. Okay, so that's one of the things that I want you to keep in mind. Now, the next thing that I see a lot of times, this is a tough one, is hiring a family member. Okay, let me just make sure that everybody understands, like, I got started in this whole martial arts business because I am a second generation martial artist. My dad, Tommy Siegler, who's also our leadership coach within the 7-Figure Dojo program, he originally started the business before I was even born in 1982. I came along 5 years later, and then after I had spent about 17 years, or he had spent 17 years waiting for me to grow up. I said, Dad, I want to be involved in the family business more than just being an assistant on the mat. Let's go. Let's figure out how to actually make the business side work, because we've got the martial arts side. And then from there, we exploded in growth over the next 4 years after hiring business mentors and coaches, as well as applying the things that we learned and creating our own unique system and own unique way of doing things in our business to get to 7 figures. Now, all of that would not have been possible if my dad hadn't started the school and I hadn't worked with my dad. So when I say hiring family members, I understand, like, I am a part of a family business. My mom, she ran all of the office and behind the desk and on the phone procedures when we were first getting started. She's actually retired now. But she did all that. And then I got married when I was 20 years old. And then my husband, who was a massage therapist, only did that for 6 months and then joined in on the family business. So I'm telling you right now, I get it. Hiring family seems like the most logical thing to do. And it worked really well for our family. However, if you're hiring a family member because they're family only, that is not a good thing to do. And I've seen this destroy martial arts schools. They hire a family member, whether it's a sibling, a niece, a nephew, a grandchild, because they share the last name, not because they share the work ethic or the desire and vision to achieve the dream. All 4 of us that were connected in this were all dedicated to the vision. So when it came down to whether or not we spent 80 hours a week working in the business to get it to the next level, or going home when we hit 40 hours, the choice was easy. It was 80, and we're all in this together. And we've always been able to be all in it together, and we've all understood what it means to work as a family. If you don't have that dynamic, then I would caution you to avoid, and I would caution you to really rethink hiring a family member, because you have a completely different element there than what you would have for a regular team member. You've got family drama, and that is something that won't go away. So keep that in mind before you hire a family member. And the 4th thing, which could go along those same lines, is hiring a friend. So you have somebody and you're like, this person's a really great friend, and I just think that they would be an amazing asset to our business. Again, are you hiring them because you like them, or are you hiring them because they are capable of doing the job and performing well? Because if you're hiring them because you like them, that's not meaning that they're actually going to get in there, do their job, and exceed at their job. They may just do the job because they're good at it, but it's not because they're qualified for it. And so that's one of the areas that I want you to frame inside your mind. I need to hire somebody because I have a job description and a task list, and they need to get in there. And here's the other thing. If it's going to be hard for you to fire a family member or fire a friend, then I would suggest not doing it. Because at some point, you have to think about, your business, and you have to think about, okay, if I have a family member or a friend here, would I be able to have a very frank conversation with them and say, hey, your performance is not where it needs to be? And then that person be receptive to it and change their behavior and attitude and then move forward. And if you can't have that frank conversation, what's the next step? Well, the next step is you'd have to let them go. So if you can't do any of those things, or if that wrecks your mind completely, just avoid it. Don't hire a family member and don't hire a friend. And here is the final 5th thing that I would say you should run from. Run to the hills. Avoid this at all costs. You should not hire anyone just because they need a job. Okay, you can't create work for people. There's no business that has operated and been profitable because you created work for someone. Okay, that's not what you are all about. Your business is about being able to provide for you and your family, and then after it's doing that really well, be able to provide for the other people who work on the mission with you, not because someone needs a job. Again, go back to that restaurant analogy. You got to really think about, do I give a job to someone who always comes into the restaurant asking for scraps? Do I give them a job? Nah, I don't know. Could they cook in the kitchen? I don't know. Would they be the best waiter or waitress or hostess? Nah, not really certain. So you need to think about those things too, okay? Make sure that you're not just blindly hiring people because you're sensing like, I need someone in this dojo, I need someone now. And listen, if you want more episodes just like this, more video, more insight into really how to build out a 7-figure dojo, you need to smash that subscribe button so you get notified every time we drop another video. Until next time, keep being awesome.